Lesson 2, Backing Up the Database. This is a very critical function. You'll need to always have your database backed up. And remember, we also have our recovery log. So if you've done a full backup and you have your recovery log, you can restore your database to the most current state. The types of backups that are supported: the full backup, which clears the archive log, or you can do a full backup plus incremental backups, up to 6 incrementals. If your archive log is large enough, this means you're doing a weekly full and 6 incremental database backups. When you restore from a full plus incremental, you're basically using the full and the last incremental. There's also a database or out-of-band snapshot backup. The snapshot backup is a point-in-time single object backup. It's a good idea to use this if you're getting ready to do some maintenance and you might need to roll back. Like with your data backups, the first backup will always be a full backup. Database backups should be run fairly frequently, at least daily. This is something that you can schedule as part of your scripted daily server maintenance. Only a full database backup will empty the archive log. I think I might have mentioned this a few times. This is critical. If your archive log fills up, you can stop the server. So make sure you have room in your archive log, and then you might need to do more frequent full backups, say nightly, as opposed to one full plus 6 incrementals. When you're going to back up your storage manager database to sequential media, which is a good idea to have it in a volume that you can take off-site for safekeeping, you're going to use the command backupdb dev class equals the device class that you've defined, type equals full. If you do a database snapshot, you don't have to worry about the snapshot interrupting your normal series. So if you're doing one full plus 6 incrementals and you need to do a database snapshot, it will not interrupt your series. The database snapshot is integrated into DRM. It's a good idea to do a database snapshot to be taken off-site before you're doing any maintenance. Before you can back your database up, for the first time with a device class that you've specified, you need to set the DB recovery. The command set DB recovery followed by the device class name. You'll only do this once per device class. Once you have set the DB recovery device class, then you just need to issue the backup DB and name the device class. This is a one-time command. You have the ability to do multiple streams for your database backups. This would also use the set DB recovery command. Here's a guideline on how to figure out how many streams and mount points to use when backing up your database. You can also use the Administration Center to start a database backup. And here's our backup DB command. You'll notice that backup DB device class equals device class name are the only required parameters. By default, the type would be incremental. So if you want to do a full or a DB snapshot, you would need to include type equals full or type equals DBS. You can specify volumes for your backups. You can specify whether or not to use scratch volumes. By default, you would. You can also wait for processes to complete in the foreground. Other database-related commands. You can query your database, query with format equals detail. You can query the volume history. We're doing a query vol history type equals DBB. That's database backup. So you want to look at your volume history for your database backups. Here's a delete vol history command. This is a way to prune your volume history. How long do you need to keep volume history data? Remember, every time you do a backup, it will be recreated. So you might want to keep them for a week. In this case, the command would be delete vol history to date equals today minus 7, 7 days, type equals DB backup. That says anything that's older than a week should be deleted. And this is in your volume history file.